Hey, great Tuesday morning. Forgot the mic. I know I always forget something. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is a beautiful morning in the city of Brownsville, Texas, here on the southern tip of this great country of ours. Southern tip of Texas, southern tip of the United States of America. America. And actually invited a friend of ours, Jessica Puente Bradshaw, to come on. Hopefully, she'll make it this morning. If not, hopefully we can get her later on this afternoon. Este, we'll see. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Why won't you be? Why don't you be? Oh gosh darn it! You just could have been my neighbor. uh, uh, we had a great show last night. It was a lot of fun. Actually, este, did a lot of went farther along than I expected it to go. I had thought that maybe we were going to go on for a little bit, but let me say, Gabriel is very opinionated, and very opinionated, and very forthcoming in regards to his opinions of the mural that we have up here downtown, and not only the mural, but also the mayor of the city of Brownsville. And let me say again, great show. If you missed it last night, please consider going back and watching it. But go ahead and watch it on YouTube. Please don't watch it on Facebook because on YouTube it actually generates cash, and on Facebook it doesn't. It's supposed to. I still don't get how that works. Facebook just becomes very very complicated, and it's at that point where I've had to limit my posting on Facebook because there is an attack out there in regards to freedom of speech. I mean, let me tell you, if and I said this back when former President Trump was in office, and they cut off his Twitter and it cut it off, cut off his Twitter and cut off his Facebook and his social media presence. He said, guys, if they can go after a sitting president, guys, you think that they're not going to come after you and me? And let me tell you, I have a lot of friends out there that constantly are in Facebook jail. Facebook jail. I don't even know when that became a thing. It just doesn't make much sense whatsoever. But again, this is part of the movement that is going on in this country to socialize everything that is around us. And it is frustrating as crud. It's frustrating as crud. What I think is interesting, I made a comment on President Biden's um, Facebook page. One of his tweets when he was talking about the southern border. And, I'm just amazed how these individuals, este, I just don't get how these individuals are out there commenting on matters that they have absolutely no clue on. Look, guys, I feel for everyone that wants to come into this country, guys. Doesn't mean that I want everyone and their mother to come into this country. And it was kind of a trippy deal because I think for a moment there, I think they had like thousands of comments, and we're like, guys, chill out, man. It's, chill out. It's just someone's opinion. And again, we live this, guys. It's something that we wanted to talk about yesterday, but we were consumed with the mural crap last night. But guys, all you have to do is walk around downtown, and I think part of the problem, guys, is that most people, most people in the city of Brownsville don't have time to come downtown. or just don't come downtown. For folk out there, when's the last time you were actually downtown? I mean, we are downtown. I come downtown every day because I work here. I go to church here. I'm here all the time. And no, for those individuals who seem to think that I live out of my office, I don't. It just feels that way sometimes. And for people that walk in, they must go like, "Man, this guy, ¿dónde está la cama este vato? This guy's got to live at his office." I don't. It just looks that way. And one of the reasons why I don't want to set up a cama or a couch here is because I'm afraid that late at night, all I'm going to do is just up to decide just to crash here and just stay here. I don't want to do that. I want to have that separation where I'm at work and then I separate and then I'm home with my girls. That's just the way I feel most comfortable. But I do use my office a lot. This Saturday, I left the office. I think at close to 8ish at night because I literally had a lot of work to do. So I left my office at 8ish, and I went to Kamori, and I ran into a good friend, Pedro, who I hadn't seen like in 15 years, and I went to visit with Pedro, and I had supper with Pedro, and then I get this message from one of my clients like, "Hey, something in regards to to work," and I'm going like, I said, I'm having dinner. It's Saturday night and having dinner. And then he puts on question mark, like, why aren't you responding? And I'm going like, "Bitch, it's Saturday night, you know? I mean, I'm not on always, I've got to have my own little time." So I was going like, you're joking, right? You're texting me, you're sending me messages at 8 o'clock, 8:30 on Saturday evening, and you think that I'm still on work mode? I said, no. Hey, Jessica, how you doing?
Good, good. Hi. Continue
Hey.
your story. I'm enjoying it.
Oh well, no, but the reason I'm saying that is because a lot of people think that I'm working 24/7, and
Yeah.
I don't, and I'm not at my office 24/7. Again, Jessica, you've been to my office. It looks like somebody lives here, but I don't. And the truth is, I've never spent a night at my office, never, and I probably could. I've got the air conditioner. I could probably like crash out. Even with the pandemic, when the pandemic and the quarantine and everything was going on, me arrancaba to make curfew, which didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But
Right.
you wanted to abide by the leadership's mandates. So I go, I would para la casa hecho mais, to get home at 11. And then one day I missed the curfew and I was tripping and I'm driving home and go like, crap, I'm going to get stopped and I'm going to get cited and blah, blah, blah. And then I see all these cars everywhere. I'm going like, nobody's nobody's listening. Nobody's
Nobody's
listening to these
listening.
folk except me. And I was going like, what the hell? And I stopped listening to the county judge because the county judge is just full of crap, just full of crap. But the reason I was saying about downtown, Jessica, I don't know if you've been to downtown recently, but there's a lot of Haitians here downtown. A lot of Haitians downtown, and I've called it out a couple of months ago when they closed off the parking garage here downtown. 3-story parking garage that cost us all money and that no one used anyway. But
No.
if I wanted to use, now I can't use because now it is a COVID positive illegal alien hub, and
Are
they
you
keep,
serious?
huh?
Tents and the whole bit or what? Or
Yeah,
people just.
tents and tents on the outside where we had that event for the groundbreaking ceremony for the Casa de Nylon, which hasn't produced anything. I mean,
Right.
they've done nothing with it. But now it's a COVID plus for illegal aliens, and now it's just completely closed off. Completely closed off. And you see nurses going in and out of that place in scrubs. And
Wow.
But you know what
Pero
really
aquí
pisses?
no pasa nada. Aquí no
Yeah,
pasa nada, Erasmo. None of
that's
that
where I
is
was going.
happening. None of that is happening. And I'll tell you what about that parking lot. I didn't even know we had that parking lot. I don't think I've ever driven up to it. People have mentioned it to me that if I went there, it would take me a minute to find it. And so the fact that now we have Haitians here and they're camping out there, yeah, pero aquí no pasa nada. I went to Matamoros about a month ago, and I went to the orthodontists. Y luego de ahí me iba a arrancar al mercado. Well, I'm driving to the mercado in Matamoros, and same thing. There was a guy on his cell phone and his Nike sandals and the whole bit, and he wasn't speaking he wasn't speaking Spanish or English. And I said, "Mira, este no es de aquí." So they're in Matamoros. They're taking over there, and they didn't look like he didn't look like he was aching for money. He didn't look like he was starving. And I'm sure in Matamoros it's not like ponte en línea y aquí te damos de comer. Ahí tienes que pagar en donde vas a vivir y lo que vas a comer. And so we tend to give people a lot of benefit here, but at the same time, we talk out of both sides of our mouths, and I'm talking about the leadership. No, we give as much, but then when we hear one side complain about, hey, this isn't fair, we can't have this, we can't, our community cannot support this influx. No, you're right, we'll get send them back, send them back, send them back. Pero no
Well,
hacen nada.
no. Well, you know what pisses me off, Jessica, is that no one has covered it, Jessica. I mean, have you heard about it on the
No.
news media? Has the newspaper, the piece of crap newspaper that we have here locally, has the newspaper mentioned it? No one talks about it. Has leadership addressed it? Look, we have a major tent village now, right here, 2 blocks from my office. It's right here, Tent City, USA, right here. I mean, talk about sanctuary cities. We've got it right here in the middle of us, right here. And how much money did we spend on that parking garage that no one used anyway? And now it's a refuge for Haitians and for illegal aliens that are crossing over. And look, all you have to, and again, more. I feel for everyone out there, but I'm sorry, guys. Until we can take care of our own, then let's start worrying about taking care of these other folks. But you're right about these people in Matamoros in Mexico. A story came out, I think, last week in regards to the Haitians being stopped in San Fernando. San Fernando, I don't know if you've been to San Fernando, 2.5, 3 hours south of Matamoros. And it's a little ranchito, pueblito. They say that que en San Fernando toda la gente está loca. If you're from San Fernando, you got a little problem up in your head. And but they had sense enough, los locos had sense enough to tell the Haitians, no, you're not getting on the damn buses. You're not getting on the damn buses, which a lot of them didn't even have money for buses. And they said, no cash, no ticket. But you know what? No ticket, period. And they blocked them. They said, no, we don't want you in our city. I mean, que la gente de San Fernando, donde están los locos, que la gente de San Fernando sea más cabal que la gente aquí de Bronzeville, Texas, que dirige la comisión. O sea, come on, guys. And all you have to do is go to the. I mean, I work. I don't live. I work downtown, and I cross over to Matamoros probably at least once a day. I mean, not African Americans. They're not African Americans. They're black individuals, and that here in Brownsville, the black community is very, very limited. And we know most of the black families, African American families that are here. We love them. I mean, a lot of them are my supporters. I know a lot of them are your supporters as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we know these folks. The individuals that we have downtown, we have no knowledge of. But what's worse, Jessica, is that our leadership has no knowledge of them. They're not being vetted.
Yeah. Or they're just keeping están cerrando los ojos. And this is not a fact. I realize this is my opinion. But why do we have such, and I'll call them, we can call them liberal, I can call them pésimas. We have these liberal policies, or these immigration policies that are very much in line with the Joe Biden administration. Pero, I mean, we have our mayor. He's part of that Joe Biden crowd. He's proud to be it. And so, from my opinion, from a federal standpoint, what would Joe Biden love most is to have the support of border towns. They're right now going through a crisis, but they're happy to say there's nothing going on, so that he can look good at the federal level. So, I don't. It doesn't surprise me because we have a mayor who is very much in the Joe Biden administration's pocket. Period. Period.
Well, I think part of the problem with our mayor is he's been tone deaf to a lot of the needs and the yearns of the people here in Brownsville. And you look, and just my thing is, they don't care. They don't care, and they want to distract the community with things that we don't even know are going to come into fruition without completely addressing the issues that are at hand. Look, do we want Brownsville to be the next Del Rio? And let me tell you, Del Rio is horrible. I
Hmm.
mean, have you seen the pictures and the videos coming out of Del Rio? My lord, man,
It's
that's a
terrible.
mess.
And the people there, whatever ethnicity, ethnic background, they don't want it. I saw a man, hey Paul, mention saying, "We're a small town, we're a small community, we cannot afford what's going on with this influx," and it's terrible. It
It
really is,
is.
not just for the border towns, but for the country as a whole. Someone mentioned it, and I don't want to say that everyone that's coming from Haiti is this kind of person, which I'm about to mention. But they said one of the some of the culture of the Haitian population, there's a lot of witchcraft,
Brujeria.
brujeria, voodoo, that sort of thing. And they said, and honestly, and I realize this is an individual at a high level. It was in the national news. I believe they were with the Department of Homeland Security and stuff. And they themselves said, look, this kind of influx, we really is not beneficial for our country, because what you're introducing is a lot of a culture difference, and that includes the religious brujeria kind of element. Do we really need that in our border towns, Erasmo? I mean, let's be honest. Let's be very honest. And I'm not saying that all of them, like I said, not all of them, but even if you had a third of them, eso es una cosa, digo, para most of us, es una cosa que we don't, as Christians, we probably don't really want that around. And that's exactly what's happening. I mean, that's one of the repercussions of all of this.
Well, 10,000 people at Del Rio border, no COVID test, no social distance, no
That's
vaccine
right.
mandates for them, and they come across the border as they please. They're treated better than we are. And Roman is 100% correct. My concern, the Del Rio population, guys, is 36,000 people. This is
Imagine.
our people, guys, Texans, Americans, residents, whatever, but they're Texans, guys. 36,000 people. Right now, I think the number has swelled up to 15,000. So you're talking about more, half of the population out there,
A
half,
50%.
50% of, influx of individuals. And I mean, the supermarkets can't keep up, as the local law enforcement can't keep up. It's gotten so bad now that what's happening is that now the border, the Texas Rangers, have to, block off and help a border patrol, man the area, because we as Texans do not want these individuals pouring into our borders at all. And it's very simple, because I've got into a couple of discussions with people from Minnesota and Washington D.C. and New York. They're not living through this, Jessica. They're not going through this. We are. We are here in Texas. We're the ones that are having to, to man up, to pay up, and to be exposed to a lot of the santeria and
Yeah,
and,
brujería, lo que tú quieras. And
and God
Erasmo,
only knows.
yeah, exactly. And you mentioned Minnesota. Minnesota, many years ago, and by many I mean within the past decade, maybe 2 decades, had a huge influx. They allowed a huge influx of Somalians, because they were refugees because of the Somalian civil war that was happening and the genocides and all of that. And they have, in some cities in Minnesota, they have in essence completely transformed these towns to the point where, and I have friends in Minnesota who I do speak with on Facebook and stuff, and they completely transforms their politics, their culture. Um, it's it's really an unfortunate thing, and I'm,
Diego.
and sometimes for the worse, not necessarily because of who they are, but because of some of the fraud that exists. Because when you think about it, Erasmo, and I know a lot of this isn't politically correct, but the fact is that it's still happening. When people come to this country expecting a handout, it doesn't all of a sudden change for them 2 years down the road. Like, oh, I came for a handout, but now it's all about my own productivity and what I can, do for my country and learn the language. No, sigue así. Y no importa la cultura de donde vengas. If you come for a handout, it's likely you're going to end up stay that way. And then you and your children, et cetera, et cetera. And breaking from that cycle can happen, but it's very, it's not as easy. It's easier said than done.
Well, 100%. And one of the things that I think is laughable, because I've been being bashed on this President Biden's thread. One thing that's laughable is that people go like, "What's your last name? Isn't it Castro?" And we're like, "What does that have anything to do with it?"
Yeah.
And they want to separate us and segregate us. As much as they think that they're all in. Hey man, we're accepting of everyone. They want to segregate, say, hey, because you're a Castro, you have to agree with illegal aliens pouring into our country. And I'm going like, are y'all nuts? I
Yeah.
mean, are y'all stupid? I
Yeah.
mean, what? Because you're Puente, I'm Castro. We're supposed to say, hey, yeah, open the borders and let
Yeah.
everyone that wants to come in. It's cool.
Yeah.
No, let me tell you. And then I say, well, where did your family come from? And I told someone like, well, I appreciate your concern for my family. It's none of your damn business, but it's I appreciate your concern. But let me say, guys, I don't think anyone out there that is upset, especially here in the border, especially here in Brownsville. I don't think none of us are upset that people that want to migrate into the United
Hmm.
States the right way,
Right.
legally. Legally, guys. I know thousands, tens of thousands of people, that went through the process, Jessica, that had to sell
Hmm.
their homes, that had to pay up money, that had to go get a visa, that had to go file paperwork, that were vetted by the government, and then who were granted residency to come into the United States. Those are migrants. Individuals
Right.
that were given a work permit to go work. Those are migrants. These individuals are crossing our borders illegally. Sorry. I
Hmm.
mean, I don't care. And I hate, Jessica, that the media calls these people migrants to this day. And and a
Right.
lot of politicians, they fall for that trap. And they're like going like, well, the migrants, but call it what it is. Why do
Right.
we have to not call it what it is? They entered without the proper legal documentation into this
Right.
country. They are illegal. Why is
Hmm.
that so hard?
It's all messaging. I mean, it's all messaging, and I'll go back to the statement I made earlier. We have leadership that is. I mean, and I'm not saying all of them, but deeply. I mean, they are deep into that Biden pocket because it brings money. It brings money for quote unquote their health care. It brings money for their accommodations, for food, for all kinds of things. There's money there. And it's unfortunate that we don't have more transparency so we can see how that money is spent, because I'm sure that money comes in and half the time it probably goes where it needs to and half the time it doesn't. But that's what happens when you have this kind of leadership. And on another note, I've seen those images that you're talking about. Que si no tuviéramos border patrol, or we didn't have barbed wire or something there, mira, se cruzan como nada.
Yeah.
Imagina if you get 10,000 people come through just literally walk el puente nuevo o el viejo, se cruzan como si nada. We would be overpowered
Yeah.
and undermanned or
I don't.
whatever.
Well, and again, look, guys, I'm all for legal migration, people coming into this country legally, all for it 100%. My concern is, and I've said this at the start of the pandemic, and I'm sure that you've heard me say this, and I'm going to continue to say it. It makes
Mhm.
absolutely no sense to me whatsoever, guys, that we are letting tens of thousands of individuals come through our border here locally. I mean, locally in regards to here in the valley, tens of thousands of people cross over como si nada, and we are stopping individuals that have a border crossing card,
Right.
individuals who have already been vetted, who have gone
Yeah.
through the system, who come to bring money to our local
To the
economy, something that people
Yep.
in Minnesota and Washington that they will never understand because they
Right.
want everyone to come over because they don't have to deal with it. They don't. They live in Minnesota or Washington or wherever they're from. They don't have to deal with it.
Right.
We do. It's hurting our economy. But and I called out the mayor. I said, Mayor, why aren't you all? Because supposedly the mayor was very proud that he had access to the White House. That he could call the White House and that's
¿Qué
fine.
dijo?
And I said, well, why haven't you addressed the matter of individuals who want to bring in money to the economy who have already been vetted by the U.S. government? Why aren't we letting them cross? They're not crossing. They can't cross. But sure as heck enough, 10, 20,000 Haitians can cross. Doesn't make any sense.
Right. Right. What I mean, Mayor, pick up the phone, call Joe Biden or whomever his secretary is, and tell him, hey, our economy depends on these people. You need to start allowing people who have proper documentation, our neighbors from Mexico, Matamoros, allow them to come in, shop, and go back home.
Very
Uno
simple.
pasa a Matamoros, digo, yo paso, ¿verdad? Porque, well, I have my dual citizenship, but I don't think they've ever asked me anyway. Pasas, te checan, they were doing the checking thing, y órale, y regrésate ya, como si nada.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
it's terrible.
No, but again, it's all a matter of failed leadership. We have no leadership in the city of Brownsville. No leadership. And last night we were talking about the mural, and we were talking about the mural because again, it's downtown. It's supposed to all this revitalized downtown movement. Again, no, you got crap. They haven't done anything except benefit themselves as business owners and owners of downtown. It's the only one that's benefiting out there. And look, this is the disconnect that exists, in my opinion. Guys, we've got a downtown that is owned by Mayor Mendez and Nerith Golansky. They own downtown. I mean, they own downtown, and the other commissioners have certain vested interests in downtown. They own
Right.
downtown. They want to pour all resources coming into the city downtown because it generates money for them, not for the city of Brownsville as a whole. So when they go out and commission an artist from California, don't California my Texas, don't California my Brownsville. When they bring an artist from California to do a Pepto Bismol mural
Wall.
on the side of an actual historic building, then you start going like, well, who commissioned this? Well, the same people who and they've said, oh no, we're proud of it. It's amazing. It's great. It's much better than anything anyone here can do. And he went out there and said, oh, the bar said hi, and local artists was learned something. And I mean, what the hell? He's literally saying, local artists, pay attention and learn your lesson from these artists that are coming from California.
I know, that's terrible. Terrible. Es una pena porque this is someone who was elected, and I didn't vote for him. He knows it. I didn't vote for him. This is a man who was elected, hey Snoopy, to be a leader, to represent our city, to represent our people. Entonces, when he goes and says stupid things like that, because they are stupid, he says stupid things like that, and then he won't own half of his comments. He doesn't own his press release, which he released and then removed. He doesn't own the answers that he needs to provide to the public by deleting comments from his Instagram and from his Facebook, so that all this fake news, so he has his own fake news network where it's all great. Mayor, we love you, Mayor, I'll kiss your feet.
Amazing.
Mayor. Digo, ¿qué tipo de persona no tiene escrúpulos?
No.
And then the fact, I mean, I would just had to post yesterday. I typically kind of tend to come and go on Facebook, but I just had to laugh at some of the comments he was making out, how he wasn't a paid mayor, but if he were, he would have already gotten a raise. I'm like, really? Really, dude? And then the fact that, and I'm so glad I got a screenshot where he tells, Teddy Kelly, y mira, no es por nada. This is not about Teddy Kelly. This is not about his skills. This is not about his graphic design, because the picture that I put out yesterday, the Trador, 20 minutos, Erasmo. 20 minutos, mira, on my program on my iPad. Okay? So this is not about Teddy. This is about this mayor who won't own his decisions. He keeps throwing it back on the commission, which is true. The commission votes. Man, qué cosita tan linda ser un mayor, ¿verdad? Things happen, but whenever the consequences are not what you'd like, you get to say, I didn't do it.
Finger
I
pointing.
didn't do it. And that's been his line since the day he was elected. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Blame it on them. Well, dude, you're the face and you're the vision. And if this is what's happening, then it's partly your vision, or it's someone else's vision, and you're just kissing butt and letting it happen, which is what I think is really happening, is really going on. So it's really unfortunate. Like I said, this is not about Teddy. This is about this guy. And then the fact, what I was going to say, he tells them, well, I wasn't sure about the color, but it looks great now. I know, mames. You didn't like it either. And that pink is awful. I can't believe they painted over the brick like that. Pierde that whole wall. If you look at it, it has this beautiful brick trim at the top. Se pierde. You don't even notice it anymore.
No, and let me say, I have never seen
Yes, Leo.
this, I've never seen the city of Brownsville, especially the local artists who usually tend to be on the woker side,
Yeah.
all up in
And
arms. They're up in arms. These are the same people that at one point in time would probably say, no, Jessica, no, or Erasmo, no. Now we're going like, oh, these guys are making sense now. Because, guys, it's not a matter of, and like I told Gabriel Trevino last night, to me, it's not a partisan thing. I mean, I don't give a rat's behind about the Democrats. I don't give a rat's behind about the Republicans. I mean, at all. I'm a constitutionalist. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in the rights that it grants the citizens of this country and those individuals who opted to come over here and go through the process legally to become citizens.
Right.
That's what I support. And that's why I will continue to encourage, because at the end of the day, we're all in this mess together. Unfortunately, here in the city of Brownsville, the divide exists between the elitists and the woke folk and the ones that actually matter, as you mentioned, like the mayor. The mayor had on his Instagram, and also on his social media sites, guys. If your comment is questioning or negative towards the mayor, the city commissioner, or the decisions that they make, you're out. You're off, and they'll only keep the individuals on there that are out there kissing their butts.
Yeah.
When or where? I mean, when or where are we ever going to prosper? When are we ever going to grow if we don't take criticism and and listen to what the majority of the people in the city want or expect from leadership?
Right. No, we're not. And I wish that every time something like this happens, because it's not the first time, Erasmo, that you have brought something to light that someone in leadership has disappointed us greatly. Pero se nos olvida, and later on, man, the balloons and the pachangas and the free chicken plates will come. Y mira, se nos va a olvidar that 6 months ago or 2 years ago, we couldn't stand the guy's face. And it's really, really, really unfortunate. And let me just add, because you make a good point, and that way, hopefully your viewers will listen. Whenever anyone runs for city leadership, especially nonpartisan, y es lo que no entendemos. I personally, I don't ever run on the politics I have at the federal level or even at the state level, because at a city, it's such an intimate relationship that you have with someone. And it'd be the same thing as saying, hey, you know what? I don't talk to my sister or my husband because they're from a different party. No, ahí ya las cosas cambian, porque es una relación. And so if I'm running for the city, I'm here to represent people. I know that same thing for you. You're here to represent people and do what's right constitutionally, do what's right when it comes to the rights of individuals, and do what's right for many reasons, whether it's economical, social, budgetary. Do what's right for the community and the city. Y es lo que la gente a veces no entiende. They think, oh, Jessica did a Trump train, so she hates all immigrants. Oye, no mames, I'm an immigrant myself, all right? There are lines drawn everywhere, and when it comes to the city, we're here to serve the community, pero no nos creen.
Well, something that you mentioned that is right on point. One of the things that, and I get messaged like, Erasmo, es que you're always talking about the same things, in regards to PUB, the horrible leadership that we have, BISD dropping the ball, the corruption. And I said, guys, part of the problem is people here in the city of Brownsville forget. Right now they're up in arms. Right now they're up in arms, and they stopped thinking about PUB. And I'm sorry, guys.
Yes,
I think about PUB every day, and I'm going to call PUB out every single day, because what happens is once you get the bill, llega el bill, and people are like, this is horrible. And then the next day, como que they forget about it. And I'm going like, I can't
yeah,
afford to do that. We have to every day, constantly be reminding the people of Brownsville and the people that live around Brownsville have to be reminding them, guys, this is wrong. What's wrong is wrong. What's right is right. And what's happening
right,
with the city of Brownsville in regards to PUB is a mess. Guys, my bill again went up this month. Now I'm at
wow,
$327. 327 for this little bitty
wow.
office when I was paying 147. $327. It's almost $200 over what I was paying at the start. And no one seems to complain except when they get the bill. And then a week later, they forget. Guys, we can't afford to forget. They want you to forget. They want you to fall for the squirrel tactic. Like, well, we're painting downtown. We're having ciclovia. We're doing another bike lane. And people start to forget, like, oh, okay. No, guys, I'm sorry. I don't care. I said, Clovia is a mess. Every project that the city of Brownsville has brought into fruition as of recent has been a mess. Crossroads was a mess, a costly mess. Ciclovia continues to be a costly mess. We're still in the red. We're never going to be in the black. Ever.
No, I mean it's true. I know. I laugh, and you make you kind of bring some humor to it, but that's the fact. And here's the thing: es que a veces no, we don't know. It's like you don't know what you, como dicen, you don't know what you don't have, or what's that saying?
You don't know what you got till
I
it's gone?
no, it's the other one. It's like you don't know what when you haven't experienced something, you don't know what you're missing.
You don't know what you're missing. Okay.
Yeah, you don't know. We don't know what we're missing, guys. We are missing. I have been to some very beautiful smaller towns than ours with smaller budgets, and the beauty of some of these cities, paved roads, guys, sidewalks where people walk their dogs, strollers, covered bus stops if they have a bus system, tree landscaping that is just beautiful, whether it's your home landscape or it's the city landscape. Una cosa que tú dices, wow, a library that is open to the community in several spots around town. I mean, it's really, we just don't know. We don't know that we can achieve that much more. And it's unfortunate. And there, I don't know that there's been anyone in leadership so far that has really demonstrated a vision for the city in that way. They come in and they kind of just start doing and taking over, but there's never really a long-term plan. It's just como que andan así, like they're like that squirrel thing. The next best thing that came through the door was SpaceX, and then Elon Musk, and now Elon Musk is hanging out, and now Elon Musk has opened up a Tesla, and so all of a sudden that's where our focus is. How many more Teslas can we sell in the city? Oh, good. Look, I'm driving my Tesla. We went from one Tesla with Jessica Tetro to like who knows how many Teslas around town. Really, that's the most exciting thing that's happening in our town, the Teslas? Porque we could do a lot better than that. We talk about the theaters. Oye, Erasmo, en esos tiempos, ¿cuántos cines o teatros habían? Teníamos el Majestic, teníamos the Capitol, teníamos el Victoria.
Victoria.
This city, as small as it was, could economically support.
Rennes, and the Charo Drive-In. We had, remember we had 5.
Okay, so this little town podía apoyar, could really support economically 5 different venues. Y ahorita apenas con el que tenemos en el mall and Movies 10, que el Movies 10 al rato lo cierran. with the
Well,
way things are going.
well,
Come on, guys.
unfortunately, just and this is
Camille, we can't ni siquiera Camille.
no, not anymore. You bring up an amazing point, but it goes back to the same thing that we've been saying for years now. Instead of growing with what we have, we've seemed to start to decrease and devalue. Look at what happened to the zoo. Again, it used to be one of the top 10 zoos in the country,
In
not in the
country.
state, in the country. Now it's not. Chickens and tacuaches and gatos and perros are what you find at the zoo. It's decreased,
Yeah.
and again, there's no room for expansion. There's no plan for expansion. Unfortunately, no viable plan for expansion. The airport, again, it got lipstick on it because again, the federal
Yes.
government threw money our way, lipstick, but we still got no flights going out there. I will say that
No.
nada, not. I will say that I'll be flying to Madrid out of Brownsville just to go check out the terminal, but it's decreased again. Everything else, it's just started to decrease and decrease and decrease. And I'll say this about at least about SpaceX. If it wasn't for SpaceX out there generating some jobs, not all the jobs that were promised, some jobs, we'd be in a serious issue right now. We'd be in the whole majorly. But again, there's no vision in regards to leadership. There hasn't been vision in leadership for decades now, decades. And unfortunately for us, la gente se duerme. Like people in the city of Brownsville se duerme, and they, like que te valga, and they continue to vote in the same crap over and over and over again, and expecting a different result. It's not going to happen. It is the definition of madness.
Right, exactly. No, and I don't, because I don't know who's watching this, but let me just again make something very clear. This has nothing to do with Elon Musk. Elon Musk seems like a nice guy,
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with him. It has nothing to do with his vision or even what he wants to do wherever he's doing it. And it has nothing to do with the artist. This is about the leadership that refuses to represent and benefit the city the way it needs to, because they get blinded by the next best thing. In the meanwhile, it's like the woman that has her nails done and her hair and everything. Y los chiquillos allá atrás mocosos, eating out of like hot Cheetos, descalzos. It's like, come on, man, take care of your kids first. And if you have something coming at you with revenue wise, what are you going to do to benefit your children, the community, that your house? No, aquí, con tal de que el venda pizzas a SpaceX, él contento.
Happy, ecstatic. He doesn't care. No,
Yeah.
and again, and this is my concern. He talks about not getting paid. On that post, and I think it was on Instagram that he doesn't get paid for being mayor. They're raking it in, Jessica. They're making
Yes,
money
exactly.
like out of the wahoo, and they still have the nerve to come out on social media and say we're not getting paid. Shut up.
Yeah.
I mean, does anyone truly believe that the mayor spent $200,000 on a campaign because he wasn't going to get anything from it, guys? Does anyone believe that Nerith Galansky and John Cowan spent $125,000, $150,000 to win a race, to win a campaign, if they were going to get nothing from it, guys? Come
Right.
on, they're getting rich.
I
And
know.
we're not benefiting at all.
No, we're not benefiting, and it's very clear. Um, Again, it's very clear once they go into office, and then we're starving again. Nothing. But I don't know. We keep voting that stuff in, and I really wish it would stop. And here's the other thing. I'd hope that more people will start hopefully running for these positions, porque siempre somos los mismos, ¿verdad? Siempre somos los mismos, y luego también se quejan por eso. It's always Erasmo. Just again. It's like, come on, guys, let's get out there and let's be part of our community. It's not that hard. I mean, look, it can't be worse. It can't get worse. It can't get worse.
Can't get any worse. I'm worthy of a raise. Yeah, Trey. Definitely worthy of a raise. My Lord. Trey. Illegals don't even have to vote in our elections, even though Democrats are pushing for it for obvious reasons. They just need to add numbers to the census so the districts can add on additional seats. That's a great point. And
Great point.
Great point, Roman. And let me say is that I'm upset 100% with the job performance, and I think what happens, Jessica, is because I think that a great number of people in Brownsville are upset in regards to the job performance out there from the local leadership. But again, they sit comfortably on their laurels because people don't go out and vote. People don't go out and vote, and as long as they have that little base of butt kissers, that little base of butt kissers out there that are applauding the mayor on those social media posts and the city commission and everybody else, as long as they have that base that goes out and vote, guys, we're never going to turn the city around, and this city desperately needs to be turned around, desperately, because we're
It
getting
really does.
screwed. We're getting screwed by the local government. We're getting screwed by the state government because we have no state representation here in Brownsville, in our area. We have no state representatives who actually give a rat's behind about the city of Brownsville and about our community. And we have absolutely no representation at the federal level, none whatsoever. So, guys, until we start to get off our butts and start, pushing forward, as Jessica mentioned, candidates that are actually going to give a rat's behind about the city of Brownsville and our community, then things may start to change. But not until then, guys. We're going nowhere with what we have right now, and unfortunately, these are the individuals who are probably best fit to get reelected in 2 3 years, and that's unfortunate.
Right.
Has more borrows than Biden, about to close the border. I appreciate that, and again, poor Abbott. Abbott sometimes speaks too quickly, and Abbott was going like, "Well, the federal government, the border patrol asked us to shut the gun," and they didn't. The fact is that they didn't. But I'm very, very proud that he sent the Texas State Troopers, to block off that area, and I'm sure that the people of Del Rio are very grateful that their livelihoods, their lives, and their way of life is being protected by someone, because it's not happening from the federal government. Hey, y'all. So when is the next opportunity to vote this dude out? 2023. In 2023. And I've already stated out there, I am running for mayor of the city of Brownsville.
Yeah.
Our mayor is a joke. He loves the facts that he walks around boasting that he's the mayor. If he didn't look ridiculous, he would walk around the city with a gold crown on his head.
That's true.
He
I
deserves it,
really,
right?
I believe, and he'd give himself a raise.
What he needs is platform shoes. Did Abbott grab Biden by the shoulder and force Biden to face the facts? The border was a big immigration problem with all these illegals. Most of them are smugglers, or mules, or cartel, and inundating the border. And I think yes, I heard from Border Patrol. And again, I look, guys. One of the things that I've learned is I don't trust the local media. I don't trust national media at all. None of them. But I do trust the reports that are thrown out there by our Border Patrol folks and a lot of the individuals that are front line out there. They're the ones that are going to tell you the truth. And our Border Patrol reported that they've been fentanyl, uh, hundreds or thousands of pounds of fentanyl has been blocked from coming into the country, guys. And let me say, for every pound of fentanyl or any other substance that is stopped, you better believe that there's 10 more that pass through. So it's pouring into our country, guys. It's pouring into our
Hmm.
country like it's nobody's business. And I'm going to say that we're going to have a major issue in the upcoming years in regards to substance abuse here in the country. It's something that former President Trump was actually addressing in
Hmm.
regards to the drug problem. Is the drug problem coming into our borders by these individuals who smuggle and who bring into everything else. Let me go in there. Kudo 956, Jason Anthony. Yep. Leo Mercado. Some of those Haitians, Cubans, and Central Americans are smugglers who bring in knives to hurt our custom border patrol agents, Texas Rangers. These smugglers bring drugs to hurt our country. 100%. The mayor's vision is Elon's vision. Well, and I think that's one of the things that I think is really very sad, Jessica, because at the end of the
Hmm.
day, I'm sorry, guys, I don't care how much money the Elon Musk or anybody else is pouring into our community, guys. I don't care, which ultimately goes to the mayor and the city commission anyway. I don't care how much money they're pouring in, guys. Elon Musk did not vote this mayor into office. Elon Musk did not vote for these city commissioners, guys. They don't, they're not out there to represent Elon Musk.
It's
They
not
are
even
out there to represent
It's
us.
even he's. I know they kept saying that he moved down. He moved down, but he's not technically moved down to Brownsville.
No.
Like if we took his wherever he moved, he technically wouldn't even be zoned to vote in any Brownsville election, as far as I'm concerned. But I could be wrong. Maybe he has a nice penthouse up at that tall building. ¿Cómo se llama? Where the elderly live.
Oh, the El Sol.
He's got the top floor up there.
The Majestic is in ruins. And we talked about that last night. What a shame. You would, and one of the iconic pictures of Brownsville is that picture where you see the Majestic Theater. It is an iconic. That is part of our history. What a shame that we've got let that gone to ruins, And even I mean, I would even say even marking off or at least fixing the outside of it, it would mean something. But it is in shambles. Majestic Theater is in shambles, guys. And let me tell you, I'm surprised that that sign is still up. What's going to happen? They haven't taken care of it. Those are iconics. The Capitol Theater is iconic in the city of Brownsville, and we just ruined it by coloring it Pepto Bismol pink.
Honestly.
Where is the money going? It's going to the pocket of these individuals. Decline. That's my backyard, but sad for the zoo. I don't visit either. Yeah, I stopped going. Why don't remodel old buildings and focus on bringing back to life those places instead of bringing things that really don't matter to the community? For as much as they want to revitalize, I think that they're at that point where they figured out that there's not much more to revitalize downtown. Again, I'm going to say this. First of all, that parking garage was a mistake when it was built. I said it back then. I'll continue to say it now. Now we don't even have access. It's your parking garage, folks. Your parking garage. And you don't have access to it anymore because it is a tent city for COVID positive illegal aliens. It's what it is. Let's call it what it is. Let's not rename it. Let's not put flowers around it. It is a COVID-19 positive haven for illegal aliens, guys. And they've got it all blocked off in black so nobody can see inside.
Wow.
No one. It's embarrassing, guys. But again, because a lot of folk don't come out here, they don't see it. They don't. They're not aware of it, and nobody's talking about it. No one.
And we need to get someone with a drone to go up above and
or maybe go inside. That'd be amazing. Guys, make it happen, please. The artist
came.
A
mural. You're getting a mural. You did the call for artists, and now
we're doing our best. We're doing our best to get a mural. As some artists are powwowing, as a matter of fact, as we speak. So we'll see what happens. I'm still trying to convince my parents to let us use the side of their building. If not, we might ask other individuals downtown to help us with their building. The artist came and did his job. Whoever approved that painting is the one to blame. 100%. I agree with that. They're the ones that are ultimately responsible. That's not getting paid garbage with his childish comments. No. Erasmo and Jessica, some of those Haitian Cubans in Central America are allegedly smugglers. Yes. 100%. No doubt. Doesn't get paid, but is reaping the benefits. 100%. His business will remain at the top. Meanwhile, other mom and pops are getting slashed out.
Yes.
Exactly correct. I mean, yeah, you don't have to get a paycheck to get paid, bro. And you're 100% correct. This guy is banking. Mayor Mendez is banking. Nerith Galansky is banking. John Cowan is banking. All these people are banking, guys. They're banking. And again, guys, it's not, I'm going to say this, and it may sound wrong. It's not their fault. It's the community's fault. I mean, the people that voted them in. I'm sorry, guys. Look, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Even my Jonathan was walking around, I would say.
Yeah.
Even Ray Charles can see that mural is.
One thing I don't understand, Erasmo, serious question.
Yeah.
When you look at the mural, it's clear that he painted the mural kind of in this lighter Pepto-Bismol color.
Right.
Arriba. Pero abajito de ese mural, where it's actual brick, it got painted a deeper Pepto-Bismol color.
Yes.
No entiendo por qué tuvieron que pintar hasta abajo. Digo, fine. You're already putting it up there. Paint up here. why did you have to go paint the brick way down below, which is not part of the mural? You just painted it pink. And I believe that that's where maybe there used to be, because it has kind of these recessed squares area. I don't know if that was windows or doors or, maybe something at the time that got sealed up. Pero no había necesidad de pintar abajo.
No, and Gabriel Trevino made mention of that last night. He says it just doesn't make sense. I mean, and this guy's an artist. Gabriel Trevino is one of our local artists. A great guy. And again, and for folks that out there, I mean, Gabriel and I have had our discussions, our in and outs in the past in regards to politics, and I'm very glad that they're a little bit more in tune with the reality of what we all live in the community, because now they're living it firsthand in regards to the indifference of our local leadership. They don't give a rat's behind about your opinion or mine. But you're 100% correct. And Gabriel mentioned it would have looked halfway okay as a frame to leave the brick on the bottom. He said any artist would have done that. He said, why? I mean, was it in the insistence of the mayor or someone else? Why did this artist do it? And I'm sorry, it just looks horrible. I mean, the whole thing looks sad. It's a sad mural. It doesn't represent the people of Brownsville in any way, shape, or form. That BTX, supposedly now, someone mentioned that it's a South Korean boy band or something. So maybe the mayor is, tuning into his boy band fetish or something. I have no idea.
You know what? And it's ridiculous. You are a traveler, Erasmo. I travel probably not as much as you, but you know that in your travels, especially like Guadalajara, there are some beautiful murals. And there are some, I've been to cities like in Houston, for example, and say, you know what, I'm going to go to this gallery because I know that this particular art is there. In Guadalajara, I think it's the Rufino Tamayo murals and stuff. People travel to places sometimes to go see these murals. I mean, believe it or not.
Yes.
I'm sorry, ¿quién va a venir para ver esto? Maybe a couple of Californians y lo van a ver y van a decir, okay, ya nos fuimos.
No, let me tell you, I that's one of the things I shared yesterday as well. If all you have to do is look at my pictures from Colombia, and look at my pictures from Peru. Guys, I have pictures of murals out there because you appreciate the art, and you're talking about art, guys. In Colombia, is the picture that I took was of the landscape, and different women as they're reporting different costumes that were from the area. It was in Chinacota. Beautiful mural. It's on my page. All you have to do is look for it. In Peru, I put up las mujeres que wear that hat, and they had 3 different mujeres, and it was their back. It's beautiful. This says nothing about our area, says nothing about the people in Brownsville, says nothing about our culture, says nothing about our relationship with Mexico, nothing at all. I saw the comment by Adela Garza telling Trey that because they're 2 peas in a pod. Adela Garza is a piece of trash. Adela Garza is a piece of trash. Adela Garza is a rata, a proven rata, rata, supreme, proven, and not proven by local law enforcement, proven by the federal government, the FBI. Federal government has given us proof that this woman is a rata, and of course she's out there saying Trey's a great, great leader.
That's her boy toy right there. Trey's her boy toy. That's what I call
Abel 2023. Preach.
Órale, Abel, come
Dale
on.
gas.
Abel, hit me up, call me. We'll have a sit down. We'll get you started.
100%. Hey, I'm there, man.
100%. I'm not just saying this on Erasmo shows.
100%, bro.
Sit together.
Mayor Mendez se pone casa solo. Well, yeah. Him and his butt kissers. Butt kissers. Oh, great job, Eric. Great job. You're just doing great things, Eric. Former Secretary of State, Carlos Cascos. What's happening in Del Rio is horrendous. Mexico has the power to mitigate this migration, encourage building the wall along their southern border now. Well, it's true. Mexico, I've been to the southern border in Mexico. I've been to their southern border in Mexico. Mexico, has great protection in regards to individuals wanting to come in. I don't know exactly where these folks came in, but, they are very hard on individuals coming into their country. We're not at all. Threaten economic sanctions.
I think it's because in the case of the Haitians, Erasmo, I don't think the Haitian, I don't think, and I could be completely wrong. So my speculation is that when the Haitians went to Mexico, they flew in. People are like, how are they getting from there to the border? They're flying in. Maybe they flew into Cancun. Maybe they flew into, I don't know, Tampico or and they fly in, and then they just don't leave, and then they just start working their way north towards the border. So we're assuming that somehow they made, the Haitians in this case, they just have landed in Mexico. I don't think it's quite that easy. It's probably harder to just land, get on a plane, and land into the United States. But it's possible that it's maybe, that's something for you. Maybe you can find out for us, Erasmo. Maybe it's just easier to fly into Mexico as a tourist or whatever. Por eso digo, esta gente no viene sin dinero, vienen
No,
con dinero,
bien por dinero,
and
our money.
uh-huh. Yes, exactly. For more, get reimbursed and then some.
Yeah, and
So
I'm sorry. No, and as
go
much
ahead.
as a lot of these people out there, they're out there saying, "like, well, okay." I said, look, guys, at the end of the day, it's money that's being poured into individuals who cross our border illegally, as they who bring nothing to our culture or our community, and who ultimately are taking away from your children. I mean, they're
Right,
taking the resources that should go to our children to our people, man. And that's all we want. We look, more power to, and again, more power to anyone and everyone out there that wants to come into this country the right way. I encourage that, guys. I assist people on a daily basis and encourage people to come to our country legally, not illegally. And a friend of mine said, "Well, you remember when you were young and you swam across the river?" And I said, "Yes, but I did it for fun. I didn't do it because I was a legal alien. I did it because I wanted to have the experience. I literally crossed the river when I was like 15 years old. I swam across the river just to see what it was like. 'Cause that's kind of how my
yeah.
brain works. Threaten economic
No, that's
sanctions like we do other countries. I suggested years ago if Biden won't speak to Mexico, Texas must. This is an amazing idea because let me say the Texas economy is one of the strongest economies in the country, one of the strongest economies I would dare say even in the world. Can you imagine if Texas all of a sudden says, "Hey, Mexico, help us out, or else we're cutting ties with you"? Not United States, because we already know Biden's not going to do a damn thing. But hey, maybe it's time for the Texas to go out there to Mexico and say, "Hey, guys, if you're not going to help us out, let's start limiting the influx of money that we're shipping out there to you." Because Texas pours money into Mexico. That's a great
right.
idea. By the way, good job, guys. Thank you, Mr. Cascos. God bless. A problem might be that when our good leaders run, they run against each other, thereby dividing the community's vote. Jessica or Carlos would have won if only one had run. Just my opinion. I might be wrong, but we need to work as a team. Otherwise, this leader will remain here forever. Let me say, and again, I will tend to maybe agree, disagree. We had the opportunity in the runoff to make things right. We had the opportunity to run off to make things right. The problem continues to be that a lot of the people here, and that's what we need to continue to educate. A lot of the people here, like, no, que te valga, no, te valga. It's not going to change anything. It will change every vote counts,
Right,
every vote matters, and every single individual out there should have come out and voted in the runoff for Jessica Puente Bradshaw. Simple as that. And unfortunately, I mean, I don't know if it was Carlos's people, I don't know if it was any other people. They didn't, and we get what we voted in and what the majority voted in, because in no way, shape, or form did myself or my family voted for the local leadership that we have right now in any way, shape, or form.
right.
So we did the right thing. We just want more people to do the right thing and stop voting for these idiots. Nah. Austin redid Paramount on Congress years ago. Great. It is, and let me tell you, I've actually been there, and it looks amazing. Why can't we have things that look amazing? That come from the people of Brownsville, guys. The mural was a missed opportunity by this administration, this local administration, to bring the people of Brownsville together, and to maybe start to buy in to this crap. And I'm still, guys, I stand firm on, yeah, stop this revitalizing downtown crap. Yeah, we got to end it. Tear down half of the downtown that we haven't already poured millions and millions of dollars to. Build a convention center or something out there, or a Central Park type of thing out there. That way, Rose, I cured diabetes Gowan can be happy, and put some bike lanes and scooter trails and everything else on there. Something, but stop putting lipstick on a pig. And I'm sorry, yeah, it's gone, it's dead. It's like Jessica, the Jardín Hotel. They're still talking about making it into a housing project. I mean,
know.
how does that make sense to anyone? A housing project out of something that's going to cost us millions and millions of dollars, and they say, "Well, it's the federal. It's not. It's not local money. It's federal money." Well, like, it's the same thing. It's our money.
It is our money. Money.
Downtown Brownsville is dead and buried. If the mayor and the commissioners buy the buildings, they will paint them and sell them for a profit. No mas. Well, that's what happened. This is what happened to Casa del Nylon. It's right here, guys. I mean, look, and it seems, and I maybe I'm full of myself, but then sometimes I start to feel like they're just doing things in order to try to prove me wrong. Because I was out here screaming. We were out here screaming because we had just run for office, Jessica. Out here screaming in regards to Casa de Nylon building. How our city got scammed with it, and then all of a sudden, there's an event which I went to.
Pile of dirt. There's a pile of dirt and some shovels. Remember?
Yes, that one. They're saying like, oh, well, look, we're fixing up the Casa de Nylon. It's going to be an entrepreneur hub, and it's going to be great. Yeah. And people bought it. And people would go out there, Jessica, and say like, you see, Erasmo, they are doing something with the Casa Nylon. You're wrong. And I'm going like, okay, we'll see. Look, if it's actually going to become something, I'm all for it. My applause, great. I challenge anyone to pass by it right now, and you tell me if they're working on it. They're not. It's a shell.
There aren't any workers at Erasmo. There aren't any workers. I'm playing devil's advocate. Yeah. There aren't any workers. People are collecting their Biden checks, and somebody wants to go out and work. And so we can't build it if there aren't any workers. Puras excusas.
Excuses, guys. I challenge anyone. Where's the lump of dirt, Jessica? Where's the lump of dirt? Where's the construction going on? Where? And look, son tan capaces de que hoy en la tarde van a mandar a little crew to go out there and move stuff around. Just to say,
they're gonna move the plywood from the windows like over and swap them out. Like yeah.
And I feel like they're going to do it just to. But you see, Erasmo's wrong.
No, es cierto. They'll do that. They will absolutely do that. No, absolutely do that. Es siempre la misma cosa.
Oh,
you mentioned something. I mentioned something. All of a sudden, they've. It's so unfortunate. It really is. It's like, ay no, qué pena. I don't even know what to say anymore.
So sad. Downtown used to be so beautiful, and now lots of places closed down with homeless people sleeping in front of them. Yes, and it's kind of. I mean, I work downtown. I spend most of my time downtown. Let me say, guys, the homeless folk have already like niched out their homes. Like right here, before getting to International on Madison, there's like a pile that's where one of the homeless families live, or a couple of homeless people. That's their home. Right here to the side of me, like a half a block away, where this old school, I think is a Catholic school, que estaba acá atrás. I can't remember. I think
Immaculate, La Inmaculada?
No, across the street from the Immaculate, there's a building that used to be a school, I think, a rectory. I think it was where nuns taught. And right there on the side, I thought cardboarded out. That's another home for another homeless. It's like a lot of them have already set up their marks. And, I don't know if they've pissed around the area to mark their territory, because it smells like piss. When you're walking downtown, it smells like piss. It smells like piss. So that's what we've become, and it's very, very unfortunate, because in its heyday, and I appreciate individuals like Brownsville Station that go out there and put pictures of what Brownsville used to look like, The Charo Days
Mm-hmm.
events that of the past compared to the present, you can't compare. Christmas,
No.
Jessica, Christmas in the past in Brownsville compared to
Uh-huh.
Christmas now, como que we've declined, we've gone down, we've subtracted instead of
Mm-hmm.
adding to it. It's
Yeah.
just horrible. Let me get to all the comments and then we'll finish today. Parking garage
Okay.
is not being used for its purpose. Bad divisions from one day. Anyone, I challenge anyone, walk by, come by to my office. I'll take you over. Come by to my
Let's
office.
go.
I'll walk with you over. I'll show you the crap. Do people still go to Dodici's? I don't buy $18 mini pizzas. All
I've
those
never
little,
been.
all those little squares below the pink mural should commission to mini murals. So, that's another one. And I
Ya la
think,
pintaron, ya que. Yeah.
well, I think that what Vela is referring to, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but they had sections that were painted by local artists at one point, which looked okay. I don't know what happened and why they decided to pink our building. It looks like the picture needs to be cropped. That's what Roy mentioned as Mayor. Paint something that looks historical. Painter, say no more, Mayor. Great job. I deserve a Sunshine
I deserve a
Solution.
raise.
Please. That's Jessica's friend,
Adela,
Adela
Adela.
Garza. At least the Texas artist, at the minimum, I agree. And again, guys, people from Brownsville, and I don't know if you saw the mural that I put up on my page yesterday, the one that
Oh
says
yeah.
Brownsville. That was done by a
Oh,
local artist, guys.
that's
Again,
great.
you see Brownsville in that because if you look inside the letters, you'll
Hmm.
see a lot of our history in there.
Right.
That's all we expected, guys. I would say that probably close to 100% of the people in Brownsville would be praising the city commission and the mayor if they had gotten a local artist to do something that actually represents Brownsville. It's a missed opportunity.
Yeah. I'm yeah. Honestly, like again, this isn't against the artist. He does what he does, but those shapes don't mean shite. They don't. I mean, what do those shapes mean to Brownsville? Nada.
Purina dog food label.
I saw that.
Remember De La Garza from TSC was in cahoots with
Choir.
Sylvia Atkinson
Oh,
to create a business that could get contract from BISD. There were FBI record. Yes. And not only from BISD, from TSC as well, which is abuse of her chair, from TSC and from other local school districts in our area, guys. So yes,
porque
Rudy.
why are these people like that aprovechados? They just don't have any other ways to do income. I mean, at least Trey, he could say he owns his restaurant, but come on, Adela Garza, like this not enough for what you did with your husband did with the pharmacy. You need more.
No, for these type of people, it's never enough. It's like Sylvia Atkinson, and again, Adela Garza's bed buddy. Sylvia Atkinson, she raked in millions. And
Yeah.
you know what? It's weird because when I said that, Jessica, I said, Sylvia Atkinson stole millions. People were going like, no, Erasmo, she stole, it's only $10,000. I said, like, are you serious? You really believe that it was only $10,000? She stole millions, guys, millions.
Right.
And millions of our dollars, but it was never enough for her. Never, and it's like, I don't know if well, I'm sure that you remember. It's like how Armando Villalobos got busted. Armando Villalobos got busted with $2,000 bribe. $2,000. The way that they got Abel Limas, more power to him. I think he's already served his time. Abel Limas was with like $500. Something that que dices tú, oye, how these people are rich. These people have money. Adela Garza has her money. She has that land, that property that her poor husband left her. She's already raked in another house allá in New Mexico, no sé dónde. She's already got the bucks, but it's never enough. They want more and more and more and more. It's just how they are. Most folk trek through Mexico, crossing between Mexico and Guatemala. The border is about 350 miles. A wall there would make sense versus a 2,200 mile border between U.S. and Mexico. Something. We've got to figure out a way to partner up with Mexico in regards to saying, no más, no more. And again, I'm going to say this. I'm very, very proud of El Pueblo de San Fernando, Tamaulipas. They said, no más. You shall not pass. And they kicked those people out. And the mayor of the city of Brownsville and the people from, the government, federal government saying, like, come on over here. We'll take you. We'll give you a free plane ticket.
Yeah.
Madness. El Pueblo de San Fernando stopped them from crossing, guys. My question to the FBI: the FBI does listen to your podcast. Yes, the FBI, to answer your question. I wonder who is listening. The FBI is 100%, and I know they are, and I'm proud that they are. And I'm very, very proud they are. I wish that our local law enforcement, like our DA and our city police and our county law enforcement officials, I wish they listened in a little bit more. But I'm glad that the federal government is, at least. Great candidates in District 3. Carlos words. We cannot have nice things because there is always someone that has their hand out to take money from the community. Yeah, and
That's true.
ultimately, they take the money of our kids, of our community. And that's what's very unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Let's finish these off. Tear down, and build a giant HEB plus that will generate money from both sides of the border. Hey, I'm. Oh, you know what? A central market. Oh my lord! If we could get a central market, I would die. I love this woman, bro. Who is she, and where can I vote for her?
Uh,
Woo! Thank you, Baba.
Thanks, Roman.
Disappointed with the new commissioners elected in supporting this and not being transparent. Look, guys, anyone who thought that the commissioners that got elected were going to make a difference, come on, guys. Come on. They're playing the game. They're out for the same reasons, guys. They're out there to make a buck. And of course, they're going to fall into play with Trey Mendez, with Rose, Cure Diabetes Gowan, John, I want to make more bucks downtown Cowan. Everyone, guys. Nothing's changed. We have nothing. Nobody stands up for the people of Brownsville. No one goes out there and calls out the mayor. Look, Jessica, at the end of the day, I expected at least one commissioner. One. I'd be content with one to come out and say, Mayor, you're full of crap. One. Something. They're all silent.
They are.
Separate from the mural we are discussing, but I've heard we have a George Floyd mural here in Brownsville. Really? Is that true? We had. Let's take it down.
Is it gone?
It's gone.
Oh.
I think that's gone. Then they did a Kobe Bryant one, and that's gone too. Are they like cahoots with Silva Agustin with Sunshine Solution? Yeah, 100%. I don't think that the artist being from LA is the main problem. I think it's more, you're right. It's more that the Pepto Bismol that he spilled on the building that painted shapes, that it was the main problem. The mural feels like 2014. Give us culture. I agree. Look, I'm not trying to diss the artist. God bless him. I mean, the guy got paid. Hey, if you're gonna pay me $10,000 to go paint a mural, I'll go paint the mural. Don't know what I'm going to do. So nothing against the artist, guys. It is ultimately the individuals that commission the artwork that are to blame, and
Right.
that is our mayor and this city commission. They are to blame.
And the mayor should not have even his statement saying, "Well, I wasn't sure about the color, but I think it looks great now." I mean, and I know that Melissa has covered it. I know Gabriel has covered it. All these local artists have covered it. You submit your mock version. It's in color, guys, and if you've got color swatches or whatever, even better. Que no se haga. He knew what was going to go up on that wall, that was going to be pink. But see, this is why you commission artists and you get several samples. Because when you only commission one, no one wants to tell the artist that his vision is off. You either like his vision or you don't. You don't go, well, I like it, but let me do this. Porque yeah, then it's not that person's art anymore. The guy, or meaning our mayor, he knew what he was getting. He knew what was going up on that wall if he was a smart mayor. So que no se haga, that is a surprise. If you had commissioned several artists, including our local ones, you could have picked and chosen what would have fit right, what color scheme would have worked right, what message, what imagery. So que no se haga, he's, again, throwing the blame on someone else when it comes to either the color or the design or the fact that he didn't choose it, it was somebody else. I mean, come on, mayor. Come on.
Horrible. And
Quinceañera venue coming soon. Yeah.
coming soon. It's horrible and it's very, very unfortunate. Jessica, any last words?
guys, just hang in there. If anyone wants to run for office, is curious about it, please send me a message. I'm dead serious. We are working as Friends of Cameron County, which is right now Brownsville based. Look, it's an organization that is going to do its best to try to get education out to the public. Let's start doing something with our elections, and let's get some positive change here. That's Friends of Cameron County. You can find us on Facebook. We do have a Facebook page, and we're having some events. So, hit me up and let me know that you want to join up, and you're welcome to come. You too, Erasmo.
Ooh, yes, I'll be there. The mural posted on your page is beautiful with an American and Mexican flag behind the letters. It would look even better. 100%. I agree, Linda. And again, local artists, Spain, Mexican, Tejano, that's our culture and should have been mural. 100%. It should have 100%.
Yes.
Something. The city can provide light projectors and let artists, photographers, musicians, and ordinary people fill in the walls. We have so much talent in the city of Brownsville, guys. So much that I've seen it, I've experienced it because I've had the opportunity to be amongst it. Unfortunately
Mm-hmm.
for us, we have a city commission and a mayor who are elitist, who will never be amongst the people, guys. So they'll never get to appreciate the art, the talent that exists in our people. So, yeah, amen, sister. Jessica, thanks for coming on. You're always
Thank you for
welcome, right?
having me, Erasmo.
You're always
Yes, I
welcome.
do. I do.
Guys, have a great day. Social distance, face covering, hand sanitizer. If you still believe in all that, guys, is that we'll be back on tonight at 9 p.m. at night as we usually are. I will not be on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning 9 o'clock, but we will be on tonight at 9 p.m. Guys, be good to each other and please, please, please continue to be good to me. God bless.